in Cramps model, when we use it, in this case, the chiral center must be present in the molecular backbone. Okay. In our syllabus, this is basically the metal hydride reduction of the carbonyl system, and we can show some examples in some chiral carbonyl compounds by using the metal hydride and using the Cramps model. Now in the Cramps model, there are three cases. So let's start from the first case, or the preliminary, that means the normal Cramps model. So just take an example, specific example like CH3, C double bond O, phenyl hydrogen CH3. So in this molecule, you can see this is your chiral center. So as I mentioned that during this asymmetric synthesis or asymmetric reaction, you have to keep this existing chiral center configuration fixed. So first we have to predict the configuration here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know this is the fourth group is in the backward, so 4b plus, and rotation of the rest of 3 groups, that means 1, 2, 3, clockwise rotation, so plus, and combination of these two is plus, so that means the configuration is R of this chiral cell. So throughout the reaction and after completion of the reaction also, this configuration, okay, so you have to keep in mind this phenomenon. So now in our Cramps model, basically the Cramps model deals with the Sawhorse as well as the Newman projection. So now you are the viewer, and we know generally in the Sawhorse and Newman projection, basically we can draw this projection with respect to the two carbons. So in this case, if we consider this is one carbon and this is another carbon, so we will draw the Sawhorse projection with respect to these two. So in this case, generally we draw the Sawhorse or Newman projection for the sp3 hybridized system, that means like ethane, propane, butane, and so on, like this type of system, and no sp2 hybridized carbon is present. But here you can see the sp2 hybridized carbon is present. So generally during drawing of the Newman or Sawhorse projection from this flying wedge projection, we need to show this bond like this way, that their sp2 hybridization or planarity is maintained. So how you can show this? So you are the viewer and you are looking the molecule from this angle. That means looking through these marked carbon bonds, carbon-carbon single. So as a result, we can draw. So this is the marked carbon-carbon double bonds, and this is your front carbon. So if this is the front carbon, we can show like this, because this is the plane and the scenario is like this. So these two are the bonds where this is the C double bond O and this is your methyl. So you are the viewer, you can see from the long side that they are just linear type of orientation. So I am drawing like this. Now as you are the viewer, so you have to keep the other bonds, that means the rear bond. This is the nearest bond and this is the rear bond, that means distal bond. Sorry. So this is CH3. Now when you are drawing this bond, we can show it like this way. These are 3 bonds here. Now in this case, when you are the viewer, you can easily draw it. That means CH3 here, phenyl is in the right hand side and hydrogen is in the left hand side. Now during drawing of this bond, or put the substituents at the proper bonds, you have to maintain the configuration. So here you can find a configuration is R. So during this drawing interconversion from flying wedge to Sawhorse, you have to maintain the configuration also. So just check it. What is the configuration here? So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Now we know the rule. That means if 1b minus, this is the convention. Accordingly, we can say that this one group that is towards the viewer, that means towards the front side. So we know 1f plus. So this is our convention. So according to this Sawhorse projection, we can find that here the 1f plus. So now rotation of the rest of 3 groups. That means 2, 3, 4. This is the clockwise rotation. So due to this clockwise rotation, it is plus. So plus into plus, that means the configuration R. So this interconversion is absolutely correct. Okay. So in this case, now according to the Cramp's rule, this is the interconversion here from flying wedge to Sawhorse. So accordingly, you can convert it into the Newman. So generally in Newman projection, we draw like this way. And this is carbon oxygen double bond, and this is the CH3. Now you have to draw the distal carbon. CH3, phenyl, hydrogen, and here you can see the configuration is fixed. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 clockwise rotation. So configuration is R. Okay. So this is simple interconversion here. Now in Cramp's rule, we have to maintain some convention. But before maintain the convention, now in this case, we can show 3 different conformations of this projection, Sawhorse projection. How? We can interchange the position just, keeping the configuration fixed. That means we can rotate this bond, because this is the carbon-carbon single bond, and we know carbon-carbon single bond rotation is possible. So we can rotate just like this way. That means phenyl will come to the CH3 position, CH3 to the hydrogen, and hydrogen to the phenyl. So the new position will be double bond O, CH3, this is one conformation. And another conformation we can think, exchanging the position hydrogen to the position of phenyl, phenyl to CH3, CH3 to hydrogen. So now the conformation looks like this way. And you can check in each and every conformation. This is basically 120-degree rotation, and this is basically 120-degree rotation. You can check in each conformation the configuration is fixed. Now according to the Cramp's model, the convention is in between these 3 conformation, one is reactive conformation. That means that will guide the steric control towards the asymmetric reduction. So the Cramp's model basically designate like this way, that if this is the chiral center, then you know the chiral center has 4 different substituents. Now one substituent is your acyl group or ketomethyl group, and we are doing reaction with respect to this position. This is the prochiral center. Now this is the chiral one. So this portion remain always fixed. Now we deals with mainly these 3 substituents. Now here the steric control means the size of the substituents is important. So we can think these 3 substituents in 3 different size. One is small, one is medium, and one is okay. So in Cramp's model, if I designate here, you can see that phenyl group is the larger group or the largest group in between these 3 or among these 3. So this is the large group, this is the medium group, and this one is the small group. So Cramp's model indicates that in normal Cramp's model, the larger group or the largest group will be in the anti-periplanar conformation, and that is the reactive conformation. Now in this case, you can see this is the medium, this is the large, small, this is the small, large, sorry, medium, large, and here you can see this is the large, small, medium. Now according to Cramp's model, I have mentioned that the large group will be anti-periplanar conformation. Anti-periplanar conformation means the dihedral angle will be 180 degree. So in between these three conformation, here you can see this larger group is anti-periplanar with respect to this carbonyl system or the carbonyl group. So that means by the Cramp's model, this is the most reactive conformation. So when we perform the reaction, we always deals with this conformation. Okay, so just apply the Cramp's model now. So in this case, if we draw in the Newman projection, applying Cramp's model, that means by this process you will get, that means this is the C double bond O, CH3. Now here it will be the large group, and in this case phenyl is the large group. So phenyl will be in the anti-periplanar conformation. Now you have to maintain the chirality of that carbon. So here this is the 1 carbon, this is the 2. So you know 1F minus, 1F plus. So the rotation should be clockwise in this case for the distal carbon. So this is the 2. So methyl should be reside here, hydrogen will be here. So that means 2, 3, 4, clockwise rotation, 1F plus. So the configuration of the chiral carbon is R, that is fixed. So first do the proper conformation from this flying wedge projection. Okay, now the rest of thing is very easy. In this case, this is the larger group, small and medium. Now the reducing agent here used, say like lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride. So if these are the reducing agent, so in this case generally there are two different phases. In this side the steric Crowdens is less because this is the small group, whether in this case the steric Crowdens is high due to presence of the methyl group, because bulkness of methyl is higher than the hydrogen. So if some nucleophile will attack, it will try to minimize its steric repulsion during this attack. So in this case this phase is sterically accessible. So when we use the metal hydride, the hydride transfer will take place from this side. Okay, because it is sterically accessible. So finally the last step is the final step, is the acidic workup. You know this. By this workup you will get the product now. This, when the reduction of the carbonyl carbon takes place, that means carbonyl center takes place, the center is no longer now sp2 hybridized, is directly converted to the sp3 hybridization, that means unsaturation. So the structure will be like this. This is the OH, this is the CH3, pH, CH3, H. Now this conformation, in this case you can see this center is now newly formed chiral center. Okay, so now in this case if you find the configuration of this center, this is 1, the back carbon is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So back carbon is 2 means we know the convention 2b plus. Now the rotation of the rest of 3 group, that means 1, 3, 4, this is the anti-clockwise rotation, that means minus. So minus into plus minus. So the configuration of this new chiral center is S. So this is by using, and this will be the major product. So this is by using the Cramps model. Now say in exam you have to convert it from this flying wedge, from this Newman projection to the zigzag projection or the flying wedge projection. So just apply the simple theory. That means the R remains R, that means the configuration of the back carbon remains fixed, and for front carbon here you have got it is S. So when you draw the flying wedge projection, you have to maintain that configuration. Now how you will show this? So in this case, look at the structure of the substrate. This is the chiral center, and here you can see this is the hill, this is the valley. So we will just maintain this structure. Sorry, this is the, here hill valley is not maintained basically, but we will maintain the center, chiral center, pre-existing chiral center like this way. We will not hamper this position. Okay. Next thing, we have to consider now this position. So here in this case, one beta bond and one alpha bond, and this is the CH3. Now here you can see that I have drawn the 2 carbon having number 2, this one, and I have drawn carbon number 3 with respect to the CIP rules. Now rest of 2 groups, where it will reside. If the 4th group, if I keep it in the back position, that means 4b plus rule. So this is the 4th group. So better to keep the 4th group is in the backward. So it is 4b plus. So 4b plus means here you have found that the configuration is S. Okay. So configuration is S means when this is 4b plus, the rotation of the rest of 2 group should be minus. So plus into minus, that means minus. But here if we put OH group here, you can't find the rotation in the anti-clockwise fashion. So you have to just change the position. In this case, keep the hydrogen in the front side and OH is in the backward side or away from the viewer. Now in this case you can see this is the 4th group and this is the 1, and we know the rule, that means 1b minus, and now you have to find the rotation of the rest of 3 groups, that is the 2, 3, 4 clockwise. So plus into minus minus, so configuration is S, and here you can see the configuration is R. So by just exchanging the position, you can draw the structure of the flying wedge projection. Similarly, from this projection you can draw like this way also. So like zigzag fashion. So in this case you are keeping the hydrogen front side, OH in the backward side. Now here you have to fix the conformation, that means keep the conformation fixed, that means R. If you look at the structure here, you can see this is just like heel type, that means up, this is not down. So when they are in the valley, we will draw like this way. Say hydrogen, phenyl, CH3, CH3. Just check the conformation, is it correct or wrong, the configuration. Say in this case, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. We know 2b plus. This is the second group that is away from the viewer, 2b plus. Now rotation of the rest of 3 groups according to the priority. 1, 2, 3 clockwise rotation means plus. So the configuration is R. So your interconversion is absolutely correct, and accordingly you can just change it. Keep it in the valley, it is in the hill, and accordingly change the beta bond position. Okay, so this is the reduction by using the Cramps model. So this is the case 1. Now, as I mentioned that if any chiral carbonyl system, no chelating group as well as no electronegative group is present, then apply simple the Prelog's model or Prelog's rule, because it is easy to predict the product. But if some electronegative group, that means minus I effect containing group or chelating group is present to the chiral carbon, then you have to apply the Cramps model to predict the correct or the major product. So now an example like this one, CH3 so this is phenyl, hydrogen, and this is say chlorine. Now in this case, according to Cramps model, first we will assign the configuration of this center. This is the chiral center. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4B plus. Now rotation of the rest of 3 groups, 1, 2, 3 clockwise rotation, so plus. So the configuration is R here. Okay, so you have to keep this configuration fixed. Now according to the Cramps model, if I assign the size of the group, we know phenyl is the largest group in between among these 3. So this is the larger one, this is the smaller one, medium, and this is the smaller one. Now according to the Cramps model, we know that the larger group should be anti-periplanar conformation. So the structure or the conformation the Newman projection should be like this. That means CH3, this is the phenyl, the larger group, and our priority is to keep the rest configuration fixed. So here in this case, we know this is the second group, and you are the viewer, you are looking from this side. So 2 group is in the front carbon, and this is the third group, and we know the convention, that means 2F minus. This is the convention. Now if 2F minus and here the configuration is R, then the rotation of the rest of 3 groups should be minus. So minus means 3, 1, 4 like this way, or better to write, not 3, 1, 4. Here this is the chlorine and this is the hydrogen. Now here you can see this is 1, this is 4. Now the rotation is 1, 3, 4, that means anti-clockwise, minus. So minus into minus plus. So that means we have maintained the configuration of the chiral center. So this should be the model. That means this is the medium group, this is the large group, and this is the small group. But when this electronegative group is present at the chiral center, then this model is not the reactive conformation. Why? As this is the electronegative group, so it will abstract the bond electron towards itself. That means it should be delta minus. That means this is delta minus, this is delta plus. So we are writing the back carbon as delta plus. Similarly, we can show this carbonyl residue like this way. That means delta minus, delta plus, because oxygen is the electronegative atom. So here similarly, this is delta minus, this is delta plus. Now here you can see in this center the electron density is higher. Similarly, in this electronegative chlorine, the electron density is also higher. So there will be severe electrostatic repulsion. though it follows the Cramp's normal model, but it will face huge electrostatic repulsion. So to minimize this electrostatic repulsion, we know this electronegative group should be in the anti-conformation to minimize this repulsion. So when some electronegative group or having strong minus I effect group is attached to the chiral center, then whatever will be the size of the group, it may be medium, it may be small, or it may be large in some time, you have to keep in mind that that group will be always anti-periplanar conformation, will feasible in anti-periplanar conformation. So the actual model will be like this: double bond O, CH3, the chlorine is in the anti-periplanar conformation. So chlorine is anti-periplanar means we are just exchanging the position, the chlorine to the phenyl, phenyl to the hydrogen, and hydrogen to the chlorine. We are exchanging the position. So accordingly we will draw like this way. That means this is the phenyl and this is the hydrogen, and here you can check the configuration of that chiral carbon is fixed because it is 2, 1, 3, 4. Okay, and we know 2f minus, and here rotation 1, 3 for anti-clockwise minus. So chirality, that means configuration is maintained. So this is the reactive conformation for this system. Now the metal hydride reduction. So after applying the model, when we draw the Newman projection like this way, now in this case we have to use the steric factor. You can see that this is the small group, this is the large group. So obviously this side is sterically accessible, more accessible. So that means if we add the metal hydride, the hydride transfer will take place from this side. Okay, so that means if we add say sodium borohydride or lithium aluminum hydride, this will attack from this side. So when this will attack and finally the acidic workup, we will get the structure. This is the OH, this is the newly carbon hydrogen bond, this is the CH3, chlorine and phenyl hydrogen. Now this is your new chiral center, and if I find the configuration of this center, here you can see that this is 1, okay, the back carbon is 2, this is 3, and this is 4 according to the CIP rule. And we know second carbon is the, that means 2b plus. Now rotation of the rest of 3 groups, that means 1, 3, 4 clockwise rotation. So that means this is plus, and plus into plus, the configuration is R. So in this case, when you will draw the flying wedge projection or the zigzag projection from this Newman, you will get like this way, that this is our substrate pH, and here you will get the configuration S, and our product is just reduction of this bond. So we will keep this position fixed. Now just put the substituent in this position, and according to the CIP we have got the numbering like this way, that this is 3, this is 2. Now this rotation is clockwise, that means the configuration here is R. So if we keep the fourth group is in the backward position and one here, we will get 1, 2, 3, that is the clockwise rotation. So that will be R. So just hydrogen in the back side and OH in the front side. So this is the 4, this is the 1, 4b plus and 1, 2, 3 clockwise rotation. So the configuration is R. So this is by using the Cramps model, and here you can see in the previous case we have seen that the phenyl group and OH group is just opposite with each other or anti with each other. Okay, because here PO, there is a no influence of the electronegative effect, but here you can see this phenyl group and here the bulky OH group both are in the same side. This is due to this electronegative factor. Okay, so this is the case 2, and the last case, that is the important one, that is the Cramps-Chillet model. Generally, this Cramps-Chillet model will form the opposite product of the normal Cramps model, and I will show both the effect of normal Cramps model as well as the Chillet model in an example. So like this one. So here you can see that I have not drawn the hydrogen, but hydrogen is present when it is drawn like this way. So this is the kind. Niche, take care. So here in this case, you can see this is the chiral center. That means the back substituent is the hydrogen. So if this is the chiral center, I have written like this way. That means this is basically phosphor bulba. So that's why I am written like the first bracket. Okay. In this case, if I find the configuration again, so this is 1 because phosphorus is attached to this carbon. Then this is 2, 3, 4. Now 4b plus and the rotation of the rest of 3 groups 1, 2, 3 anti-clockwise. So minus. So the configuration is S of this chiral center. Now here we apply 2 different reagents. Different reagent means we are using the same reducing reagent, that means sodium borohydride, say in this case, and here we are also using sodium borohydride in addition to sodium chloride, and finally the acid workup will be there, and here also acidic work. So now what will be the product in these 2 cases? Both will form the diastereomers, and in one case one diastereomer will be measured, and by applying the Cramps-Chillet model, other diastereomers will be the measured product. Now how you will predict this? So in this case, this is the sodium borohydride, means with absence of the chelating agent. It may be sodium borohydride, it may be lithium aluminum hydride. So if it is the absence of the reducing agent, then just we will assign the position. This is methyl, this is small group, and this is the large group. So according to the Cramps model, the large group will be in the anti-periplanar conformation. Okay. So anti-periplanar conformation means double bond. So now I am writing this group as R prime because this is the larger group, so better to write like R prime. Now this is your large group. So this is the large group. Now here you have find the configuration S. So you have to maintain the configuration S, and the priority is like this way. Large group here it is 1, medium group here it is 3, and small group here it is 4. So this is your 2, and 2 is in the front side. So 2F minus, this is our convention, we know this. Now as it is S, so the rotation of the rest of 3 group should be plus. So plus means clockwise fashion. So if it is large group, this should be the medium and this should be the small, and here you can find the order. That means it is 1, it is 3. So rotation of the 1, 3, 4 clockwise plus and 2F minus. So configuration is maintained. Now use the metal hydride, and this side is sterically accessible because small group. So the hydrogen will attack from this side. That means hydride transfer will take place from this side, H minus. So here you will get the projection like this way. So this is the R prime, OH. This is the larger group. This is the smaller group, that means hydrogen, and this is the medium group. Now you have to find the configuration of the front carbon. This is 1. The back carbon will be 2 because here phosphorus is attached. So the back carbon should be 2. This position will be 3 and this group will be 4. Now here you can find the back carbon, that means 2B plus, we know the convention. Now rotation of the rest of 3 group, that means 1, 3, 4 anti-clockwise rotation. So that means minus. So minus into plus minus. So the configuration of the new chiral center will be S. So the diastereomer which is formed by using simple Cramps model, the configuration of the two chiral center will be SS. So by this model we can form the zigzag projection like this way. So this is your pre-existing chiral center, hydrogen. Now we are dealing with this position. And according to the CIP, you have found that this is 2, this is 3. Now the rotation or the configuration here, it should be S. So S means anti-clockwise rotation. So here you can see this is 2, 3, 4. The last group which I am substitute or putting here, it should be the least priority group, otherwise the rotation will be reversed. So that means here in this case, if we use the Cramps model, our group 1 is the hydrogen. So let's just put hydrogen here and OH here. So in this case you will get this is 1, this is 2, 3. So that means anti-clockwise rotation, and this is the fourth group. So 4B plus and anti-clockwise rotation minus. So plus into minus, that means minus. So the configuration is S. So this is by applying simple Cramps model. Now our second case. Second case is I am using the lanthanide group. That means one metal atom which can chelate with some chelating group. And here the structure, this is phosphorus oxygen. So this group is like this way, and it contains the lone pair of electron. And not only that, it contains also the carbonyl. So I am discussing just in generalized way that carbonyl can bind with some Lewis acidic group or Lewis acidic system. So here C3 plus acts as a Lewis acid, or here it can also bind with some Lewis acid. Now in a same molecule you are getting two different chelating positions. So they cannot individually bind with two individually cerium group because you are using one equivalent of cerium. So when you are using one equivalent, so the conformation will be in such a fashion that both the group or both the oxygen can bind with one equivalent of C3 plus. So if this is the scenario, then there will be the chillet model. So how you will show the chillet model? So according to the Cram's model, first we will draw like this way. That means this is R prime, this is the larger group, and we know 2b plus, sorry, 2f minus. So here this is the small group, that means CH3, and sorry, medium group, and here it is the small group. So this is our normal Cram's model. Now in chillet model, when you use the C3 plus, now in this case it can bind with C3 plus. Similarly, this phosphorus oxygen bond can also bind with C3 plus. So that means to bind with the C3 plus, either we have to rotate this bond, this carbon oxygen double bond, or we have to rotate this larger group. So this is possible when this group is in this side. That means now here you can see both the group of both the electronegative oxygen is forms the chillet model here. This is the chilletting group. Okay. Now if this is the scenario, then the rotation of the rest of 3 groups, that means it will come here and hydrogen will go there. So we will write like this way, CH3 H. As this is the chillet model, so this 2 bond is contracted, that's why this CH3C bond is also rotated in this side. Okay. But if we write actual way, then it should be here. But by this model you can see both the configuration is also maintained, because it is 1, it is 3, it is 4, and this is the 2f minus, and 1, 3, 4 anti-clockwise clockwise rotation, so minus into plus, yes. So everything is satisfied. So when this is the chillet model, now you have to apply the steric factor. So when this is the model, you can see that this side is sterically accessible, not this side, because here CH3 is present, also this bulky group is present. So from only this side hydride can be transferred. Say if I use lithium aluminum, sodium borohydride. So hydride will transfer from this side, and by acidic workup we will get the structure. So this is the OH, this is the newly formed carbon hydrogen bond, this is the R prime, and the rest of group. Say POPH2, CH3, hydrogen. Now we know the configuration of the back carbon is fixed, that is S. Now we have to find the configuration of the newly formed chiral center. So in this case, this will be the 1, this is 1, this group will be the 2, the back carbon, this will be the 3, and this will be the 4. So in this case 2b plus, we know the convention. Now the rotation of the rest of 3, that is 1, 3, 4, it is clockwise rotation, so the configuration is R. In the previous case you get the configuration that is S, but here you get the configuration that is R. So this is just the anti-product of the normal chillet model. By applying the some chilletting group, you are getting the opposite product, that is the Cram's chillet model product. So in this case, if you draw the zigzag conformation, say this is your substrate, this portion will be fixed, that is S, it is always fixed. Now this position will be reduced and form the alcohol. So according to the numbering, this is 2, this is 3, and here rotation is the clockwise. That means here the configuration is R by this applying this model. So if this is the R, you have to keep the fourth group here and first group here, because we know 1B minus, and if the rotation of the rest of 3 group is minus, then you will get plus. So hydrogen will be in the front side and OH group will be in the backward side. In the earlier case, you have got the structure that OH group is in the front side and hydrogen is in the backward side. So this is the difference, or this is the case by applying the chelating group in the Cramp's model. So in sometimes the reducing agent may be zinc borohydride. Just simple, by using zinc borohydride, here Zn2 plus acts as a chelating group or Lewis acidic center. That means no, say suppose in absence of any cerium chloride, this will follow the Cramp's chelate model. Okay. So generally, if some transition metal is present, the lanthanide group is present with some metal hydrides, it will follow the Cramp's chelate model, or such reading like zinc borohydride or lithium borohydride is present, then it will follow the Cramp's chelate model. So this is the chiral induction by by varying the steric factor, and they are described by these 3 different cases in the Cramp model.